Om Sai Ram and humble salutations. I'm Shridika Pillai and you are watching Sadhana, the Inward Path on SABC3. As the festivities of the summer holidays simmer down, it's time to turn our attention to the year ahead. For our dear students, it is both an exciting and overwhelming time as they prepare to start off a whole new school year with new teachers and new classmates. Speaking on education, Sri Sathya Sai Baba said, "Education should build character." And one of his greatest legacies was the establishment of world-class schools and universities aimed at promoting human excellence. This model of a safe school environment is being emulated around the world. Based on human values, Sathya Sai Educare, as it is called, honors the uniqueness of all children, enabling them to realize their inner potential of character, excellence, and academic success. Here in South Africa are 3 such schools in Chatsworth, Newcastle, and Lenasia. And today on Sadhana, we visit the system of integrated education and find out about its impact in the lives of our country's most precious citizens, our children.
Sathya Sai Education was founded by Sathya Sai Baba, who hails from India, and it was based upon a particular type of philosophy called Sathya Sai Educare, which involves an integrated system, merging both the academic part of development of a student as well as the spiritual development or character building. And today, we have in so many countries around the world 40 Sathya Sai schools who are implementing the Sathya Sai education in human values system.
Today, Sathya Sai schools have grown to be part of a worldwide network of educational institutions, providing quality education and developing young men and women of sterling character.
The entire goal of the Sathya Sai organization is to redeem you, to give you your liberation. It liberates you. And Swami says in the idiom of in education, Swami keeps reiterating and telling us, Sa vidya ya bimuktaye. What liberates you is education. What binds you in the shackles of job and worldly attachment and greed, these are definitely, these don't qualify to be called education. True education is one that redeems you and gives you your freedom. End of education is character. So basically, the Sathya Sai system itself is one of inner transformation, of character development, character building.
The organization is obviously the single most important legacy Swami's left. That is why it's so important for us to protect this legacy and to continue the legacy as he would have requested from us. I think in South Africa itself, from a legacy perspective, from the educare, medicare and social care, the legacy that has stood out has been the educare program.
Very happy with that.
To put back this care in education, Sathya Sai Baba established a model of education in India, from primary to postgraduate level, based on the fundamental principle of love.
I joined the Sri Sathya Sai University for my postgraduate program, and then I was really fortunate that in many walks of my life, even for my PhD, I had Swami to guide me.
Social pressures affecting our young ones today who are entering into the schooling system is really too great. It's social pressures, technological pressures, and generally a great moral decline in value systems.
Education is two-folded. One is the external and the worldly education, which is run in the public school. And in the Sai Schools, we are concentrating on educare, where we're involved in the manifestation of the latent human values, the 5 human values.
We run our schools as a secular school with an underlying basis of education in human values. It has been obviously started in India, and it has spread through other countries.
In South Africa at present, there are 3 Sathya Sai schools in Durban, Newcastle and Lenasia.
The first school was developed in Newcastle, and that began to grow from the foundation phase into the senior phase. And the second school in that particular year grew in our very place where our interview is taking place, and that is the Sathya Sai School, Chatsworth. So that is also approximately 18 years now. And now this school is a fully fledged school which caters for grade R right up to matric.
The schools lay more emphasis on spiritual education and character development rather than secular academics. This has proven to actually enhance the academic side, consistently producing well-balanced high achievers.
Over the years, you'll find our matric results, as compared to many other schools, it's not advisable to compare, but our results have been excellent at the matric level. We are concerned with moral, ethical, and spiritual education, so that the end of education is character.
The problems is obviously rampant in education right now in terms of discipline. Even the private schools in South Africa, we see it in society now that a lot of secular schools are looking in the direction in terms of a value-based education.
Values were classified and structured in 5 distinctive groups. Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prem, Ahimsa. Truth, righteousness, peace, love and non-violence. These are the 5 primordial cardinal values. And all other values that we talk about, if we say compassion, if we say patience, these are all sub-values of these important values. It's beyond the ken of religious dogmas, beyond the ken of cultic interpretations. It is just the spirit, and the spirit is universal as the cry of a baby.
The school curriculum in a Sathya Sai school provides for the full development of human potential and a full range of learning activities embracing the body, mind and spirit.
When a baby cries, whether in China or Japan or America or in this country, the cry of the baby is just the same. It's only later on when different qualifications are added to the baby, and the baby is taught that you are a South African or you are an Australian, and then the baby starts catching those traits and ultimately gets completely segmented and branded. And by the time the baby grows old and dies, she is branded to the extent that sometimes we don't even recognize ourselves. So the whole process that Swami has started is the unbranding process, wherein Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, you live as, look up at the sky and say that, yeah, I am a child of immortality. I am a child of infinity. I am eternity itself.
A typical day at a Sai school commences with prayer, silent sitting and meditation, followed by devotional songs of all faiths and inspirational discourses. Many of these assemblies are managed by learners themselves, providing an ideal start to the day and offering an opportunity to reinforce positive attitudes and behavior.
Daba Telecoms provides the township of Orange Farm, south of Johannesburg, with cheap to no cost VoIP mobile communication. The technology employed also allowed the connected schools to make phone calls to each other free of charge. In a nutshell, who can tell me what this comprehension is about?
The philosophy of the Sathya Sai Educare and the pedagogy of integral education, which together distinguish Sathya Sai education from other systems of education, underpin the school curriculum in every Sathya Sai school.
Anybody has any idea what that disease is when you have high sugar levels and it causes certain parts? Okay, Sai? Diabetes. Excellent. Have you heard that they say a smile is contagious? Like why when someone says a joke in class, like Moab is smiling now and it's making me smile and it's making Shreya smile and then Sonali smile. So a smile is contagious just like that.
The environment that the school offers also has to be conducive to the development and the nurturing of values in the student. So this is a completely universal program. It's for people of all faiths and all cultures, all backgrounds, all economic, what you call situations and things like that. It means that it brings out the tolerance of religions. It brings out the commonality amongst religions. The essence of the program is really bringing out the common values that all religions share, such as love, unity, compassion, sacrifice.
If you walk around the school, we find that we have Christian students here. We have a few students from the Muslim religion, and the rest are Hindus. But the integration, you wouldn't say that. You cannot distinguish this is a Christian or this is a Hindu or a Muslim child, because the integration is, so well done.
In every curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activity, efforts are made to integrate human values, and during lesson planning, these values are identified together with associated sub-values to enhance the lesson.
In addition to the CAP syllabus, as in the case in our country, South Africa, they seamlessly get an integration of values into their particular lesson. So be it mathematics, geography, science, or life skills for that matter, the teacher would be so inspired through the training that is offered that they would naturally just integrate values into their particular lessons. So the integral education system calls for music and sport and arts and drama. So we make every effort to offer these to our students as well, so that it brings about holistic development of the child.
Five teaching techniques are used in what is known as the direct and indirect or incidental methods. These techniques include silent sitting, storytelling, a quotation or prayer.
The direct method here is where we integrate, we start off the lessons with meditation. Meditation is to still the mind and bring about mastery of the mind so that they could learn. Thereafter we have quotations, which we take from, from our scriptures or from our reading, and we analyze it. Thereafter we have storytelling, and eventually bhajans if there is. But role-playing is an important aspect of our teaching process.
The thought for this day, Swami says, really sweet people are rare in this world. Those who are sweet are divine. They do not expect anything from others. They bring joy to others and shed warmth to all. Be sweet in look, be sweet in speech, be sweet in serving others. All this will take you towards God.
The indirect method uses incidental value-based examples during a lesson to expound on a subject. Negative examples are deliberately avoided, and positive value-based examples are sought instead to illustrate a point.
Now, actions. These are called what? They are called what?
False.
Right. Who can explain to us what's a verb? Bukamuso. Right. Bukamuso says we can call it a what?
The other pillar is the unity in diversity, where they learn to understand and appreciate that they are one with nature and the universe, and that they just look different and may behave different, but really they are essentially one. And these human values that we talk about are inherently in all of them. So students learn, if they are Hindu, they learn more about Christianity, and if they are Muslim, they learn about Buddhism and so forth. So as they grow up, they develop the sense of tolerance and the sense of oneness. And then the other aspect is we inculcate this sense of social responsiveness and placing a ceiling on their desires. And they become more aware and sensitive of the environmental challenges, global warming and so forth.
So if a nation has to be integrated, it's the individual that we have to focus on. If the individual is well integrated in this approach, then so many of these people will one day build a very strong nation. Sai basically look at it is the spiritual awareness of individuals. So every individual should be aware of his own spiritual heritage. Who am I?
The South African Institute of Sathya Sai Education, SAISI, ensures that the quality of Sathya Sai education through teacher training and development, standard settings and quality assurance programs are in line with the Sathya Sai World Foundation guidelines. Most importantly, the teacher should be an exemplar of these universal human values.
The key is the quality of the educators that we have in the school, because they need to understand the philosophical system very much and take their knowledge of the academic side of the education and merge it with their own spiritual development, and thereby, by living the value system and becoming exemplars of human values, they can resonate that onto the students.
So when we talk about Raya Lusus is a charitable person, what does that indicate? Yes, Kalyani?
Although winning an award brings a sense of accomplishment, at the end of the day it is really hard work that is being paid off.
This fundamental difference in unfolding secular lessons is the key to the powerful, experiential and transformational learning taking place in Sathya Sai schools throughout the world.
The Institute offers training for teachers of the Sathya Sai school as well as any other teacher that may be interested in being trained.
I want to welcome the Institute here at the school. You have made a very important difference in our teaching and in the way we run our school. We have met a few times now this year to put together a self-review document. With the help of Sister Shirley and Sister Banita, managed to guide us through the entire process. So the section that we had to complete was the section on pedagogy and parts A to F. So subsequent to that, we had a first meeting with the staff, and then we broke down the sections on A, B, C, D, E, F, and dished it out to all the teachers at different workshops.
As in other schools, knowledge and skills are imparted, but a person's true talent and value needs to be drawn out from within them. True education should not merely be for earning a living. It is, after all, for life. In this regard, the Sathya Sai school model stands out. The school strives to be models of academic excellence, providing education which develops an active social conscience, encouraging them to render selfless service to others and be leaders in society.
The students studying in this in any Sathya Sai alma mater, in any Sathya Sai school, the basic focus is on character development, character building, and building of a complete integrated personality. And what is an integrated personality? The crux of spirituality that Bhagavan spells it out in so simple terms. Swami says, one whose thoughts, words and actions are united together. A person who speaks what he thinks and does what he speaks. Such a person is a rarity in today's world.
In this country, we are proud to have a Sathya Sai organization, which is fairly old, over 40 years. And it is this very organization that had the sense to develop these 3 schools in South Africa. And they are the ones that support the schools in cash and kind from time to time, because the school really depends largely on generous donations from them. The philosophy of Sathya Sai education and the system does not go and seek donations. It, through its moral system, attracts donations rather.
We must offer gratitude to the devotees that had the foresight to build these schools. These schools were built by our devotees in South Africa. They saw this opportunity to bring Swami's legacy to South Africa in terms of this value-based education. So I think we are bearing the fruit of our Sathya Sai schools already. We are seeing members of the schools that have the alumni that have come through, they've gone into society itself, and to take that further step and say, how can we as citizens of South Africa impact and resonate into our country?
Sathya Sai Educare enables learners to realize their spiritual heritage, to have unity of thought, word and deed, and thus live a full human and spiritual life.